Welcome to Community Voices with your host, Terrence Lachey. This radio roundtable features community, business, and religious leaders that discuss current events and topics that impact our urban community. If you would like to be a guest or if you have a suggested topic, contact the station today at 616-259-7342. Now, into the program.
Greetings and welcome back to Community Voices. I'm Pastor Terrence Lachey, and we are on 91.9 FM, The People's Choice, bringing information about the community to you. I'm excited today to have in the studio a representative of our community, both our faith-based community as well as our impacting community, and that's with the Urban League. And Brother Triggs, glad you are here today. I'm excited to take the time to get to know more about you and what you have going on with the Urban League.
Well, thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity to share some information and then hopefully give some opportunities to individuals to take advantage of some things that we have going on right now.
Absolutely. I know that there's a passion for what it is that you do. One, because you're a man of faith, but you're also a man in this community. You said you've been in the Grand Rapids area for how many years of your life?
57.
57, wow.
In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it'll be 58.
Wow, well, congratulations for being a veteran of the community. I'm a newbie. I've only been here about 22 years, but ever since I've been here, I've only heard great things coming out of the Urban League, projects, programs, services, and resources. And so I've made quite a few referrals. I've had an opportunity to do some training work for the Urban League and serve on a couple of committees back in the day. I guess 22 years is small in comparison to the 58 years you've been here, right? Or 56 years you've been here. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing and what the Urban League is now offering to our community.
So one of the things, my role at the Urban League is the director for the Center of Employment and Economic Success. Previously, I worked at GRCC as a grant manager for a grant called the One Workforce Grant, which was a $9.8 million grant that allowed us to help get people into training, and then training into pathways into skilled trades. Once I got the opportunity to come over to the Urban League, it just made a total sense for me to do that, because not only did it allow me to continue that same work, but it allowed me to branch out and help in other areas, not just skilled trades, but healthcare and then professional levels as well. And so, excuse me. So what right now, what we're really focusing on is giving these opportunities and trying to push this out so that our community members can take advantage of these great opportunities to get connected to the Urban League, get connected to different employment opportunities that will advance their life, and also help business owners who are out here who are struggling. Everybody says the same thing when you talk to
Can't find good help.
Can't find good help. Can't
so
keep people.
It's an upskill program, pretty much helping people to become more qualified for the positions and the jobs that are available.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way of putting it. It's an upskill program, but it's also a pathway program for those that may not have any experience in the workforce. So we work with young people who are just coming out of high school, as well as people who are in their 50s and 60-year-old generation. Yeah,
that want to either catch up with technology or just improve their skills to make more money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think about the Urban League. And how long have you been with the Urban League now?
So I came over to the Urban League August 14th, 2023.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of fresh for you, but just the history of the Urban League is that in addition to employment and housing and just the social resources that are available, the Urban League has become a community icon for the African American community. And so I think there's a certain level of honor that goes with those who work in those fields in those areas.
Absolutely. So the Urban League has been in this community for 82 years, I believe, and it's been a staple. We get individuals that are coming to us in a time of need. Oftentimes when they need help the most, people will come to the Urban League. And as God would have it, we've been able to help most of the people that come through our doors.
Sure.
And point them in, if not help them ourselves, but point them in the right direction to attain help.
Yeah, I've made quite a few, like I said, referrals, and people have come back with very positive things to say about their experience. I know that there's some expansion going on with programs and work with the Urban League. Maybe you can talk to us a little bit about what's on the horizon here in the greater Grand Rapids area with the Urban League.
Well, great. Yeah. So some time ago, we bought the church that shares the same parking lot with us. And a couple of months back, we received a grant from Congresswoman Hillary Scoton's office, $700,000, I believe $750,000, to help modernize and reshape that whole corner. What we're planning to do is build a youth center.
Yes.
So
specifically targeted at nonviolence, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that. I know that may not be your project, but we're going to get to this one. But I want to give a full, snapshot of the great work that the Urban League's doing.
So one of the really cool things about being a part of the Urban League is that we are interconnected.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have different pillars that we operate under. Obviously, I operate under the employment sector. But we have a cure violence program, which is a great program that is focused on stopping violence in our community. They oftentimes go out and they work in the schools, they work in the parks, they work out in the community to get connected to individuals, young people and adults, older adults, who maybe have taken a misstep or maybe going in the wrong path. And they try to help them redirect some of what they're dealing with, so that to keep them from getting into a system where the justice system takes them out of the community.
Yeah. The Urban League has, like I said, a very positive reputation for that, and I wanted to make sure I incorporated it because I just talked to Congresswoman Scoton, and this is a great opportunity to push the fact that there are some great advancements happening. We're not just doing the same thing for 82 years, but there's even development to address the issues that are relevant today, and violence is one of them here in the city of Grand Rapids. Especially among blacks and people of color, we have the highest rate of mortality when it comes to gun violence and other issues. So the Urban League is a staple, like you said.
Yeah, it's really amazing. But even beyond that, we're working to deal with other things within our community that have been a hindrance. We have a smoking initiative that our health program is working on. They're trying to get the sale of menthol cigarettes and cigarettes, tobacco in general, banned, because, as you know, tobacco is one of the leading causes of cancer, lung cancer.
And cancer being one of the leading causes of death. Yeah, so
and cancer being one of the leading causes of death and one of the higher causes of death in our community.
Yeah.
So
Brother Curtis Triggs is here. He's talking about the Urban League and the programs that is available, the programs that are available here, but specifically employment. Let's get back to that and also give some contact information so that if there's somebody who's listening and they need a job or they need some skills, or if there's an employer that wants to invest in some employees, how do they make contact?
Well, people can reach out to us at the Urban League. We're located at 745 Eastern Avenue Southeast. You can call the Urban League at 616-245-2207. That way you can call us and make an appointment, or you can just walk in. We take walk-ins as well. We're open Monday through Thursday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. And on Fridays, we're open until 1 o'clock.
Absolutely. So I think that's a good way to get started. But go into the details of this project, HRSA. It gives opportunity for healthcare initiatives specifically.
Absolutely. So HRSA grant is a grant that is connected to 4 entry points into the healthcare field.
Okay.
Those 4 points are CNA, direct care worker, community health care worker, or a medical assistant. And that grant will cover the cost. In most instances, there's $0 that are required from anyone because of the grant.
Okay.
You get connected to those trainings. Those trainings vary in length based on what program it is that you're taking. But then once you get done, you're certified. And that certification gives you a better opportunity to get connected to employment. And typically, most individuals get connected to employment within one of the hospitals through those programs.
Okay. So that means that someone could go straight from high school into these practices, or somebody who's already working in these fields could come and upgrade their skills.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things about that, so a lot of times what we're starting to see is individuals that currently work for the hospitals will say, hey, I want to become a medical assistant or a certified nursing assistant. In the hospital, they call them nurse techs. And maybe their goal is to ultimately become a nurse. These are great opportunities for them to begin that training that will allow them to make more money while they're working at the hospital, and then get into higher level trainings that then can get paid for potentially through some reimbursement.
Sounds good. You've done grant management prior to this with GRCC. What's fulfilling to you? You know, I mean, what why do you do this work? You know, you could easily just simply say, you know what, I'd rather do something else. But this work is obviously a labor of love.
It is. So at my core, I am a coach. I've got over probably 25 years where I coached kids in sports.
Okay.
But what I started noticing as I got older is that didn't just stop with sports. That's who I am.
Yeah.
So doing this kind of work allows me to see people at one point, but help them get to their ultimate, goal. And a lot of times what I learned is this work is so transformational that I may be working with you, but I don't know who's watching you. So when you go home and you've achieved all of your certifications and we've got you connected to employment, you might have a younger brother or younger sister that's watching you that will come in and say, hey, I want to do what Dr. Lachey did.
Yeah.
So then now they're coming in. And so this has the potential to change the trajectory of their life.
And generations.
And for generations to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's what's noble about doing the labor of love type work, is that you're not just impacting one person's life, you're not just changing the bottom line of economics for one organization, but now you're talking about opening the door for generations and generations to better themselves and to also take advantage of what is available in this great country. Urban League has been a great catalyst for that, but I think it takes good people to help to implement the programs and push it out there. What would be an ideal audience for these programs that you manage right now?
So the ideal audience is anybody who is interested in changing their situation. If you're 18, currently not enrolled in high school, and you're looking for an opportunity, these are great starter programs that will get you in the door and allow you to start making money. Prime example, there is a training that is connected to the One Workforce grant, which we at the Urban League are still a part of. That's the grant that you referenced that I used to run
with GRCC.
With GRCC, I used to be the grant manager of that grant before coming here. So there's a program called CNC training.
Okay.
CNC stands for Computer Numeric Control. Basically, it's learning how to program a machine that will cut raw metal into whatever its intended use is to be. There are companies that are paying top operators that have journeyman cards as much as $120,000 or $150,000 a year.
Wow.
Right here in the city of Grand Rapids.
Wow.
We can get you that same training that will get you on the path that will help you at some point in time get to that point.
Yeah.
And again, most of the times, in most situations, that training is completely paid for. Absolutely.
So Urban League is partnering or in collaboration with GRCC as well as those potential employers.
Absolutely. And so that's that. We just started a welding program. Normally this welding program under normal circumstances would cost about $6,800. We were able to get this particular welding class that we're running right now. It's called One Workforce Welding, all the way down to a $15 cost.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
To the
by
student.
using this grant and some negotiation with our partners to offer this. And we put 7 individuals along with another community-based organization. They have 7, we have 7 in a class. It's one night a week for 14 weeks. And then when they're done, they'll be certified as welders. And we'll
Wow.
be able to get them out in the community and get them working.
So now, are the courses held right at the Urban League, or are the courses held at various places based on whatever the skill is?
So depending on what courses there are. So some of the HRSA courses, the healthcare grant courses, are online courses.
Okay.
Some of them are online. Some are held at GRCC. With the skilled trades and manufacturing courses, those are held at GRCC as well.
Okay. And so those partnerships are important so that these programs can continue to roll out. I'm glad you identified the audience, the 18-year-old that's trying to find their way. What are the requirements for that? Did they have to have their GED, or is this something that circumvents that process?
So if they have to have their GED if they're going into one of the healthcare programs.
Sure. Or a high school diploma.
Or a high school diploma, GED or high school diploma, if they're going into a healthcare program. If they're going into the skilled trades and manufacturing, they don't have to have a GED or high school diploma. We're able to get them into those programs. It's not a requirement that they have that, although it helps with the funding piece.
Absolutely.
Because if you have your GED, then you're eligible to receive more funds. And like I mentioned earlier, the young person, the 18-year-old, it's a great place for them to start, but I don't want to exclude anybody else.
Right.
We have individuals who are in their second act saying, hey, I need to reinvent myself because technology is changing and opportunities are changing. And so we work a lot with those individuals as well. I think the oldest person that we've seen come through this grant was somewhere around the age of 65.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm glad you called it the second act. Some people say it's the cameo or the reappearance or the encore, right? The encore coming back into it. So tell me about those individuals. What have you seen as far as their job experience and what happens after they come through your program?
Oh, a lot of times, and most times, those individuals, they're coming through and they become very good students because when you're younger, sometimes you just kind of take it for granted a little bit.
It's hard to focus.
It's hard to focus and whatnot. But when you have a little bit older student, usually that student that's right around 30, that's where they start to get it. This is an opportunity for me to grow my career path. And this is an opportunity for me to provide more for myself and my family. So they really take it seriously, and they've been able to get into these trainings. They're short-term trainings. They've been able to take advantage of them, get certifications, and then go off and get employed with reputable companies.
Sure. Some of the partners that support the Urban League programs, when I'm talking about partners, businesses, do you have maybe a list of some of those employers or who those people are?
Yeah. So I know that Coca-Cola has hired people out of our programs, Cascade Engineering, AutoCam, Kendrick Plastics. There's a number of companies that have hired out of this program.
Yeah.
Since August of 2023, as of yesterday, we have 85 people that we have confirmed that have taken a training and that have been placed in employment.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
We have another 30 people that we have not been able to reconnect with to see where they're working, but we believe that they're working.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's
well, if
just
they're
since
listening,
August.
they need to come. They need to reach back, right?
Exactly.
So that it can be noted that this program is working and that these efforts are productive. I like the fact that you mentioned the coaching element. Talk a little bit more about your passion and what can I expect if I came to you? If I said, hey, you know what, I want to upskill. I've been around a little while, and I'm not making the type of money that I could make, but I don't have the skills that I need in order to do that. How would you approach that?
So one of the things that we're going to do first and foremost is we're going to have a conversation. We're going to get to know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
This kind of work is best done when I have a vested interest in you as a human being. And so we're gonna talk. We're gonna have you do an assessment, Most likely it will be an assessment off of a website called ONET, which is a governmental website that if you have a job, any job in America is listed on ONET if it's a legal job and they pay taxes.
Okay.
And so we'll have you do an assessment. We'll talk about what kinds of trainings might be interesting to you,
Okay.
and how we can get you enrolled in those trainings, as well as what the career path looks like once you complete that training.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll also walk with you as you're going through it. So you'll have a coach that works on my team. I've got a great staff, 3 individuals that are very much like myself.
Sure. You can send a shout out to them if you like.
Well, I'll just say I got the dream team: Marvin Martin, Ariana Martinez, and Will Gooch.
All right.
That are just
Will,
fantastic at making sure our participants have opportunities.
Absolutely.
One of the things, and it's really a testament to how God, this is a Christian radio station, so I'm going to go ahead and say it,
Yes.
how God has aligned me. One of the things I always pray for is, God, give me opportunities so that if I pick an opportunity, it won't be bad because you supplied it.
No, that's right.
So
He opens the doors that should be open and close the doors that should be shut.
Exactly. So what we try to do is supply them with opportunities that fit what their belief systems are, what their what's best for their opportunities, and then try to usher them into that. And we walk with them all the way through, and then we check in with them over the course of a year.
Right.
And then once we've made that connection with you, if you ever need help, you just come back and see us, and we try to get you connected again.
I think that's one of the other things that I've always known about the Urban League is that it's very user-friendly, and nobody should feel intimidated. Nobody feels out of place or out of sorts. It's just real people helping real people.
Yeah.
And I like your coach approach. And you said you got 3 dynamic coaches. I think that makes a difference because we got some variations in personality types or even styles in approaching people. Different age groups. So there's something for everybody. As the director of the Center, for Employment and Economic Success, what's your vision? What would you like to see happen in our community?
Oh, I'd love to see more individuals take advantage of this free money while it exists.
Okay.
The federal government is recognizing we're in a different time than what I've ever seen in my life, where the federal government is starting to recognize that the workforce is getting older, and more people are leaving certain industries. And in order for us to continue to advance, we have to have people that replace them. Well, the advent of the internet has taken away a certain sector of individuals.
And then there's the artificial intelligence factor.
And then there's the artificial intelligence factor. And so even that, so those opportunities are here for us, just like they are for other communities. But if we don't take advantage of them, we're going to be left behind. And so I'd love, as my personal goal is, I want to get as many individuals in our community to take advantage of these free opportunities or reduced cost opportunities so that we can be in a better situation for the coming generations.
Amen. Listen, C. Dennis Triggs. I appreciate that powerful name. It's a name, obviously, that has a legacy or is going to build a legacy. What would you like to leave as words for the upcoming generations, when it comes to this employment piece and this passion that you have for helping people to find their place in the world? What are your words of encouragement? And you can use your faith. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're on a Christian station, man.
Hey, trust and believe. I was going there anyway. So on my wall,
I feel you.
I got 2 things I'm going to say about that. On my wall in my office, as a director, we get to have our favorite quote. So on my wall, I have, "You have not because you ask not." And then what I would tell you on a one-to-one basis is, how do you know you can't walk on water if you never get out the boat?
See?
When Peter got out the boat, he got out the boat based on the word of Jesus.
Absolutely.
And he walked on the word. As long as he stayed focused, he didn't sink.
Yeah. Yeah. And Peter was the one who initiated that. Jesus didn't tell him to come. Peter said, if it's you,
Bid me to come.
Bid me to come. And then Jesus is like, come on. You want to come? Come on.
Yep. So I'm bidding you to come.
Right.
We have an opportunity to help. We are here to advance you personally, emotionally. We have wraparound services. If you're facing housing needs, we have that at the Urban League. If you have a home that needs repair, we have a program right now called the NIP that is providing up to $15,000 for you to repair your home. And when you come in, you're going to get connected to that, but you're also going to get connected to other resources that we offer. So
So the Urban League has always been a clearinghouse for all the resources that could help make life better for people in communities where we don't always feel, accepted or have access to the resources. So a difference is being made with the West Michigan Urban League. I'm going to give you these last few moments to make the appeal for people to participate in your program, to come to your program, or anything else you'd like to share.
So I just want to make sure that I say it again. Thank you all for having us here today. I just think that this is a great opportunity if you are facing a stalemate in your career. If you are looking to get into any of these entry level positions, or if you're looking to advance your career at a professional level, reach out to us. We have opportunity to help you. We have the ability to help you, and we're just there for you and want to be there to continue to serve.
Yeah, don't stop, man. Give your website and tell them what they can expect, when they come and approach. What's the website?
The website is Urban League of West Michigan, urbanleagueofwestmichigan.org.
Yeah.
And if you just Google us, we have a lot of opportunities on our website. And, like I said, you can call the Urban League. You can walk into the Urban League. We're there to help.
Terrific. And you got a great team that's going to be there to navigate people through the process. When I come to the program, what should I bring with me? How should I be prepared if I decide to walk in? There might be somebody listening today just walking right down Eastern and says, you know what, I'm going to make a quick turn and go in this office.
And that's thank you for saying that, because that's a lot of what happens.
I know.
If you come in, I would say bring your ID, your picture ID, either it's a state ID or driver's license, and then bring your Social Security card.
Okay.
And those are required to get you on these grants. We can get you signed up in a day on these grants, and we may be able to get you into a training, depending on what route you decide that you're interested in. We do have a couple of one-day trainings that we're able to get people into that will get them a certification as well.
Wow.
But those are just more generalized.
Sure, just immediate employment.
Yep. Manufacturing fundamentals is exactly what you said, immediate employment. But yeah, so just come on and see us.
So there's not a problem for anybody. Now, if I'm challenged in the area of my Social Security card or my ID, can we get some referrals or some assistance on how to get those things?
We can definitely try to get you referred to some individuals that can help you
SSI
to get
office
that.
Or something.
Yep, that can help you get procure those things. But yeah, you can come in if you have a birth certificate. You can bring a birth certificate. We can use that. They call them I-9 documents. So passport, if you're lucky enough to have one, bring that in lieu of the others. But yep.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation. I know that there is so much more to the Urban League than what people think. I do know there's going to be some construction going on right there on the corner, and you'll see a whole different face of the organization that's been around for 80 plus years, providing services and assistance to the community, specifically Black and brown people, benefits just tremendously from the resources. But this employment piece is something that a lot of folks don't know about. People know about the housing assistance perhaps, or maybe when there's a crisis, you call the Urban League. But because there is employment, development, and economic success happening, you're the person for that. So close us out with any words you'd like to share. Maybe again, pitch your program, and then the website again for those who might not have caught it is www.grurbanleague.org. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to give you final words.
So final words, if you're, like I said, if you're looking for an opportunity, we want to see you. We want to be there to support you. We want to walk with you. We want to usher you into that next stage of your life. Don't worry if you are a returning citizen. We work with you as well. I have a huge passion for helping returning citizens, and we have some programs that we can get you connected to that way as well. I just want to, again, thank you all for having us, and it's a pleasure to serve our community.
Thank you for being here today. We appreciate you, and I'm absolutely sure that somebody listening today is going to reach out and make sure that they take advantage of the programs that's available.
Well, do me a favor. If you do reach out based on this conversation, ask to speak to me. My name is Dennis Triggs. I'd love to meet you personally.
Thank you, Dennis, for being here. And thank you all for tuning in to another edition of Community Voices on 91.9 FM, The People's Choice.
You've been listening to Community Voices with your host, Terrence Lachey. Community Voices can be heard every Friday at 12 noon. This radio roundtable features community, business, and religious leaders that discuss current events and topics that impact our urban community. If you would like to be a guest, or if you have a suggested topic, contact the station today at 616-259-7342. Until next week, let your voice be heard in the community.